Hey there. I just want to go on record and say the Nostalgia Critics Transformers review, hated it. Hated every single minute of it, and it was a real disappointment for me because he'd previewed it the previous week and I was like, oh cool, this will be interesting, and sorry, it just fell flat for me. I know a lot of people seem to like it. The response seemed to be sort of fairly mixed. Half of the people liked it, half of the people like me hated it. If you liked it, it's fine, I'm happy for you. At least someone got something out of it. I just want to say that I'm not someone who will throw up my arms in disgust and outrage and say that Doug's completely fallen off and is running out of ideas, or that his show isn't funny anymore just because of one bad review. You know, even the best will have their off days. And just say, better luck next week. You're still awesome, man. I didn't see the Simple Wish review until much later, actually, but, that was good. But the Alien Resurrection review, loved it. I thought that was brilliant. But the thing I really loved about it was he actually gave a bit of acknowledgement to the somewhat sort of mixed, lukewarm reception to the Transformers review. In the review, we had one alien say to another alien, some of the people hate the Nostalgia Critics Transformers review, other people like it. Which one are you? And the alien basically lists off basically one of my reasons for not liking the review. I love that. Even when he has a flop, he uses it to his advantage and makes us like him even more. And he's willing to admit when he has a flop, or at least when the reception for things that he does has not been as good. And that is why he is awesome. He's willing to just accept it when people don't like his reviews, and he actually uses it in a review to make his review funnier. I love that, and that is why Doug rocks. But there's one thing the alien doesn't say in the review that I think is probably worth mentioning, because it was, for me, the worst part of the Transformers review. And it's this.
Soundwave, ready the army!
No, I am tired of doing all the work and having no personality. I want a story arc, something that gives me depth. I want a romance, yes, a romantic comedy, perhaps a relationship with the toaster. The toaster can be stuck up and high class. I will be quirky and getting into all sorts of antics.
Oh, that's right, the cliched rom-com. Sorry, I don't find that funny, particularly.
At first she doesn't like me, but then she admires my silly charm. We get to know each other better, but then she discovers I was keeping a secret the whole time.
Okay, we get it now, man. Can we move on, please?
I tried to explain I held this secret because I love her, but she's too emotional and filled with hate, so she decides to marry this snob. A real uptight guy with no funny lines. She is about to be wed at the altar, but then I come stumbling in after going through some sort of comedic chase. I plead myself to her, and at first it looks like she's not buying it, but then her eyes tear up, she turns around, gives me a hug, the snobby groom is angry, but then my comedic sidekick comes in and punches him. The crowd cheers. I tell the toaster I love her. She says she loves me. We decide to get married, but we do not show it on screen because 2 weddings would just be repetitive. So we end with kind of an open ending. Something like we're driving a convertible into the sunset or something. This leaves it open for a sequel. I want to be played by Zac Efron and Natalie Portman as the toaster. There is a bit of an age difference, but I think she looks young enough she can pull it off. Disney has shown interest. Gary Marshall is attached to direct. It will be called Soundwaves of the Heart. It will be PG-13 for female situations, but I think that doesn't know the name.
No!
Damn it.
You done? Cool. Okay, so that's the kind of joke which, maybe some people find funny, but it's the kind of thing that should last about 30 seconds, but instead it lasts over 2 minutes. I really don't understand why it lasting for that long makes it any funnier. Did he just find that the review was 2 minutes too short or something, so he decided to just stretch it out? I remember an episode of The Simpsons, actually, where that was actually slightly too short. The writers found there's this one bit where Sideshow Bob steps on a rake, so they decided to have him step on 9 rakes, thinking that would make it 9 times as funny. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. Stretching a joke out like that does not make it any funnier. If anything, it makes it less funny. But, like I said, this was just one particular video where he misfired, and he has recovered since then and continues to give us great reviews. So, Doug, you're still awesome, but the Transformers review didn't do it for me. Okay, see ya.